Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there pushing His truth throughout the four corners of the earth, and to the hopeful elect out there. This is the brother Hadayar coming back at you with another one. And this is just gonna be a quick one. Just going into, trust, trusting in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and faith, because that in order to serve and follow after Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you have to have faith. You have to have faith and you have to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, no matter what, even though at times, things may not seem to make sense, um, in terms of what we may be going through, but we are to continue to keep the faith and to stay grounded in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And this is so true. All we can do is trust and believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because each brother, each sister is going through their own test, and there's there's many ups and downs, on this road to salvation, and especially in in these last days, it's hard to find work out here. Things are getting expensive. It's honestly, it's damn near hard to even save. you know I was always taught growing up, I was always taught, save your money, be wise in your spending. And I've always, for the most part, you know have been that person where I don't not spending too much. But man, even just the way things are right now, the way things are so expensive, it's hard to even save. you know more times, you just have enough to get by, especially if you have children, rent and mortgages and payments, and just everything is just so expensive nowadays. And this all makes sense to the times that we're living in, and the fact that Esau's kingdom is coming down. That's why things ain't easy right now. Babylon the Great, America, is it's that empire is coming to a close. Dollar don't mean nothing. The dollar don't hold value. So, back to my point, yes, it's very hard out here, but we are to continue to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And I making this lesson because myself, we go through things. We go through many things. You know Sometimes it's, oh shit, sometimes it's harder than other times. So this lesson is even is even speaking to myself, because you have to continue to lean onto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And I want to get this precept next. Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are not of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. how can a man then understand his own ways? So that that goes into lean not onto your own understanding. Sometimes things happen, and you know to us it absolutely makes no sense. To us, it may seem very unfair. No, why, why me? Why me, Lord? I'm following you, believing you, and here it is that these other unbelievers out here, they seem to be, um, they seem to, what's the word? Um, can't think of the word, but they seem to be, getting by, you know. But we can't look at it that way, because at the end of the day, we have Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. These people out here don't have it, even though they're, even though they seem to be getting by, even though it seems that they're not struggling, or just whatever the case may be. We have to remember that we have Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on our side. And that's something that I tell myself, many times. Especially when I'm going through hard times. That despite whatever it is that I'm going through, I have Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on my side. The mo, the power above any other power. The only power. Is on our side. And even though sometimes it may seem unfair, or we just have to we have to remember that the Lord is gonna chasten who He loves. The Lord is gonna put you through many things. And for me, this past year has been the most challenging ever. Just the many hurdles that I've had to overcome. But at the end of the day, we're still here through the grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This is Psalms. This is Psalms 118, and I'm going to start at verse 6. And this is in the NLT. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is for me, so I will have no fear. What can mere people do to me? It's exactly it. Like, what? Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is on our side. So, there's nothing that no one could do to, bother us. Verse, give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute. So I can, trying to do this video and my, all my seeds trying to come in here and play with me. Anyways, Psalms 118, verse 6. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is for me, so I will have no fear. Yes, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is for me. He will help me. I will look in triumph at those who hate me. Verse 8, it is better to take refuge in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai than to trust people. And that's it. That's our trust. That's where all our hope is in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and not in man. Not in this. Not trusting in Esau and his government. A lot of people out here, that's where their trust lies, in politicians. Whereas for us, we know Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is on our side. And as I said, it is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust the people. Because the Lord, The Lord never changes, you know. He is one way. You know, he is always righteous. You know, he doesn't flip-flop. He doesn't go back on his word. You know, he controls everything at the end of the day. Why not put your trust in a power that controls everything, both good and both evil, the both left hand side and right hand side. Verse 9, it is better to take refuge in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai than to trust in princes. This is it. Can't be trusting in this government. People worried about voting. People damn near couldn't wait for Trump to get in office, and now he's in office, and they want him out, and he hasn't even been in office for a year. So you know that's what they get. You know, they wanted to trust in Esau rather than put their trust in their power and their Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that's only for Israel. You know, that's only for Israel. These other nations, these Edomites, this ain't for them. You know, they can't put their trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Only Jake, only so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and indigenous people. Only, you know, we are supposed to put our trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was not confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was not forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So the Lord has never forsaken any of the prophets, any men that truly followed and believed in him. Never. It's never happened. The Lord has always came through. And you know, and even us right now, we are a living testimony to that. Because we all been through it. We're all going through it. It ain't easy out here. It's hard. You know? And the Lord still has us here. Still have a roof over our head. We still have a ways to eat. We still have ways from going to point A to point B. Yes, it's not always easy. More times it's very hard. You know, like they say, you know, sometimes you just want to crash out, you know, but we can't. We have to stay spiritual and keep believing and trusting Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because he has never forsaken anyone who has put their all into him. And I truly believe that. You know? Like this past week has been stressful. And man, I put up prayers, you know, trusted in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, try to not let my emotions, you know, and doubt get the best of me and you know, creep into your mind. And you know, the Lord always comes through. Always. You know, and like I said, this is you know, people think, you know you're an Israelite, you know the names, and your life's just gonna get good. More times it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get real hard. But that's, you know, that's the beauty of it. You know, there you know there you know there's pain in the struggle, but you know this does nothing but build us up. You know, hardens us. Um, you know, makes us, you know, truly men and women. You know, start to understand things differently. You look at things differently. So we have to just, you know, continue to build, continue to hope and believe. This is Matthew 6:25. Therefore I say unto you, take not thought for your life, what you shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what he shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than the raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do any reap, nor gather into barns, yet their heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not more better than they? So in other words, we're not to worry. If the wild animals and birds out there are able to eat every day, then the Lord is going to also provide for us, you know, because we are special unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So we know, like I said, easier said than done, because things will happen, emotions will happen. This flesh is weak, but just have to. That's why it's important to stay grounded and just fall back on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That even though those doubts and whatnot may creep, we have to learn how to just brush them away and believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. If he can take care of the birds out there, then he's gonna be there for us. He's gonna always watch over us, no matter what. And this is something, us hopeful elect need to really build upon now, because it's only gonna get harder. Every day it gets harder. But the time of Jacob's trouble is approaching. That hour of temptation is creeping up. Well, the prophecies are being fulfilled. So, our faith is what's gonna, carry us in these hard times. We might not, physically have, phones or a Bible or, scriptures, written down to look upon. We're then gonna have to fall back on our faith and just the many things that we had to go through that is gonna get us through for what is to come. So we just gotta continue to believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai no matter what. And just continue to build our faith and our trust in him, despite whatever it is that we may be going through. Because we're going through it. I'm going through it. So I know there's other brothers and sisters out there going through it as well. But just keep the faith, believe. Fear in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We serve a greater power. We are blessed to know our power and to have him on our side and not against us. That's going to conclude this video. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.